Social media use has increased dramatically for young adults. Pew Research has tracked the percentage of people aged 18 to 29 using it since 2005, and that percentage has grown from 7% to 84% as of 2021. Since social media will continue to be such a major part of American lives and politics as a whole, I think it's a good time to look and see the impact it's having on young voters. Let's start with why social media companies incentivize political speech. It all comes down to engagement and revenue. Since these companies make money selling ads, the longer they keep people engaged, the more they can earn. An easy way to keep people engaged is through something called rage bait, a tactic to get attention by causing outrage over a topic, person, or in this case, politics. At the end of the day, rage bait is nothing new or special. It's utilized because it helps both the platform and the users get what they want, both money and attention. But what's really interesting is how in recent years, both politicians and activists have used it to reach as many people as possible. As an example, let's take the Democratic Senator Alexandria Ocasio Cortez, who in 2021 went to the Met Gala wearing a dress that read, "Tax the Rich." This led to days of coverage where people discussed the dress, the senator, and the political message she was promoting. It would later be reported that searches for "Tax the Rich" surged on Google after the event and controversy, bringing significant attention to her and her message. The reason I chose AOC for this example is because regardless of her politics, it's clear she has a good understanding of social media and how it can be used to reach not only her voters, but younger voters who have yet to get into the political space. Civil rights, healthcare, climate change, and wealth inequality are all things young voters have made clear they care about. She makes an effort not only to just talk about these issues, but present solutions where young voters are likely to see them. Social media. While AOC is a good example of a politician meeting young voters where they are, very few political leaders could ever have the impact or scale of what we saw in 2020 with the Black Lives Matter protests, which are estimated to be one of, if not the largest political movements in US history. Social media allowed you to get minute to minute updates from people protesting all around the country, while at the same time allowing organizers to create larger protests and allow for the distribution of statistics and news stories that the general public may not have seen. A report that looked at four major cities, Atlanta, Los Angeles, Minneapolis, and New York, discovered that around 67% of those that went to these protests were 18 to 34 years old. These protests acted somewhat as a turning point for younger people. They became more outspoken on their political beliefs, and the two youngest generations, millennials and Gen Z, are much more likely to believe the government should be proactive on fighting issues, whereas the older generations tend to believe businesses and individuals should work to solve these problems. While the political beliefs of younger people seem to be taking shape, none of those beliefs matter if young people don't vote. So we've been seeing an active effort from both politicians and platforms to get young people registered to vote in both local and federal elections. In 2020, both Twitter and Facebook ran a campaign that allowed unregistered voters to register right on the app. Snapchat said that it had gotten 750,000 users to register and planned to create programming to incentivize Americans to vote. Twitter, on the other hand, sent out a push notification in 40 different languages and got multiple celebrities to use their Your Voice, Your Vote hashtag on the app. Facebook seems to have the biggest impact, with them claiming they helped 2.5 million people register to vote across Facebook, Instagram, and Messenger. I myself registered for the 2020 election through Instagram. I bring this up because we are already seeing the big impact the younger generations have on politics. During the midterm elections, the party in power usually loses seats in both the House and Senate, and that was expected to happen, but to a much higher degree during the 2020 midterms. After all the races had been called, the Republicans did end up winning seats and taking control of the House, but they came short of their red wave by only winning a slim majority of 9 seats. People aged 18 to 29 were the only age group that had a strong majority that supported Democrats, at 63%. Looking at Pennsylvania, that had some of the highest youth turnout, John Fetterman, a Democrat, won by 70% when it came to people aged 18 to 29, while his opponent got only 28%. Taking into account everything we've said so far, social media has significantly increased political engagement among the younger generation. Its widespread use among young adults has allowed for the dissemination of political messages, the organization of movements, and voter registration efforts. Young activists have effectively utilized social media to raise awareness and demand actions from the government. Politicians like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez have successfully leveraged social media to connect with younger audiences. Social media has become a powerful tool for political engagement among the younger generations, shaping the future of politics and democracy.